Friends, in this episode, you're going to find out who is the X factor for immigration. Now, I think you already know who it is in Congress, but we're going to go a little bit more in detail for you. Welcome to Green Card Guys TV. My name is John Ting, your host. I practice immigration law in all 50 states of America, from the East Coast to the West Coast and all across the world. And our team is here to solve your immigration problem. Now, in this episode, again, is about who is the X factor in Congress. Now, on the Senate side, it is no one else than a moderate Democrat, Joe Manchin, senator from West Virginia. Now, you probably know this already, but if you are new to following immigration news and new to learning about Congress and what happens in Washington, D.C., and especially these next 2 years for Joe Biden, Joe Manchin and a couple other moderate Democrats are the X factors. And here's the reason why. There's only 50 Democrats in the Senate, and you need 51 if it's a simple majority. Now, you only need a simple majority for budgetary type, budget reconciliation type bills. Immigration is not one of those. There's actually a lot of other types of provisions for the infrastructure bill that President Biden wants passed, and they've phrased it as also climate change and clean energy for the United States. But a lot of things in that bill also are not budget reconciliatory. So they're trying to fit in a lot of things, like, for example, about maybe voting rights, or also about the gun reform, gun safety, or public safety, some people call that. So there's a lot that's happening right now. But Joe Manchin, just about a week ago, signaled saying that immigration is very important to deal with right now. And now, that's important to note because that's coming from a moderate Democrat. But at the same time, Democrats in general are really counting on him because, to bypass the filibuster, since we need 60 votes, supermajority, to pass immigration reform, we need at least 10 more Republicans. Now, there were at least 30 Republicans that did pass for the American Dream and Promise Act for the House of Representatives just a couple weeks ago. So that's a good signal for Joe Manchin, for him to understand that there's actually could be a lot more Republicans, or at least a few more Republicans, that are in favor of at least Dreamers and TPS holders. Now, something else you should know is that his record on immigration is very clear. It's very transparent, and that is he has always voted for, or appeared to always vote for, Dreamers. And so that's a positive thing. The second thing is that he says there's no immigration reform bill that's going to pass unless it includes money for border security. Now, in my opinion, I don't think there needs to be that much money for border security in terms of a physical wall. And I think most of you would probably agree with that as well. So he's not necessarily, I haven't seen any statements from him saying it has to be money for the wall, but at least border security in general. Now, we can disagree or agree on exactly what that can mean, but I think for those who are currently in the U.S. without status, you might not care if there's going to be money for border security or not, as long as you get status. So with that being said, you should go to my website, because I have resources there on how you can find out who your elected a politician is, your elected official, because it's important for them and their staff to know that any kind of immigration reform is important for you and your family. Now, if you don't write to your politician, then they don't know, right? They don't know it's important. So especially do that if you live in a Republican state. That's very, very important. I think that will help a lot of people in America as long as you do that. Now, of course, I wouldn't write anything in there that necessarily states your immigration status. I would not do that at all, but you should definitely promote that any of these immigration bills needs to be passed, okay, to help your family out. Now, So other things that Joe mentioned also believes in is that it's not in addition to providing legal status, lawful status for dreamers, it's also to provide a pathway to citizenship. Now, all this is coming down the pipeline because he visited the border, the southern border, last week. So I think it's good timing that he's mentioning this because, again, I mentioned in previous live shows that immigration was going to be a hot topic after the American Rescue Plan for the COVID, for the pandemic relief plan. Okay. And, even though there's talks about infrastructure bill and things like that, this is a good time that Congress will soon take up, or specifically the Senate will take up any kind of immigration reform bill. So hopefully that will happen within the next month or two after it kind of, settles down on the border crisis or the surge at the border. Some people don't like to call it that, but whatever the media calls it, Republicans are going to use it in their favor. So that's why any more serious immigration talk, I think, will happen maybe in a month or two. Friends, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe down below. And if you enjoy our content, please kindly hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. And share our video with your friends if you think our information can solve one of their problems. And if you would like we're offering a free 15 minutes preliminary discussion with you or someone you know, as long as you or your friends mention this code, the secret code, or not so secret, but Green Card Guys. And if when you mention that lets us know that you're actually following us on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. And also, the way to do that is call in to this number, or you can text if you're at work, and we'll call you within the next business day. But if you have time, please go ahead and click the URL down below. It starts with Ting Law, that website, so you can answer out a few questions, and our CARES team will call you within the next business day. Until next time, friends, please continue wearing your mask. Have a great one. Bye.